What is function in Python and what is the correct way to create a function? A function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. It is a way to organize and encapsulate the logic of a program into separate blocks, making it easier to understand, maintain, and reuse code. Functions in Python have the following characteristics. 1_name. Each function has a unique name that identifies it. The function name must be descriptive and follow the naming rules in Python. 2_parameters. A function can receive 0 or more parameters. Parameters are values that are passed to the function for it to use in its execution. 3_function body. The function body is an indented block of code that contains the instructions that will be executed when the function is called. This is where the logic and operations that the function will perform are defined. 4_return values. A function can return a value using the return keyword. This allows the function to calculate a result and send it back to the point of call. Now, let's see the correct way to create a function in Python. To do this, we use the keyword def, followed by the function name, parentheses that can contain the parameters and a colon to indicate the beginning of the function body. The instructions in the function body are then indented. Here is an example of a function called greet that receives a parameter name and displays a greeting on the screen. In this case, greet is the name of the function and name is the parameter it receives. The body of the function displays a greeting on the screen using the value of the parameter. Then, the function is called with the argument John, and the greeting hello, John, is displayed. Remember that Python functions are a powerful way to structure and reuse code, which improves the readability, maintainability, and efficiency of programs. Also in programming, functions allow us to perform different operations with the input, to deliver a certain output. The behavior of a function is defined by the code we write inside it. One of the most useful features of functions is their ability to return different parameters or values using the return keyword. When a function reaches a return statement, its execution is stopped and the specified value is returned. This allows a function to perform calculations, process data and generate a result that can be used in other parts of the program. In this case, the get_double function receives a number as a parameter. Then, it multiplies that number by 2 and uses return to return the result. The function is called with the argument 5, and the returned value, which is twice 5, 10, is assigned to the result variable. Finally, the result value is displayed on the screen. Note that the use of a function in this case may seem unnecessary, but it is useful to illustrate the concept of returning values in functions in a clear and simple way. In more complex situations, functions that return values can be very useful for organizing code and performing more complicated calculations. Ways to pass arguments to the input. Function without input and output parameters. This means that the function does not require any input value for its execution, and does not return any value to the point of call. Arguments by position. This is the most basic and intuitive way to pass parameters. If we have a subtract function that accepts 2 parameters, it can be called as shown below. Since these are positional parameters, the first number will be interpreted as A and the second as B. Arguments by name. In Python, allow arguments to be passed to a function using the names of the corresponding parameters, rather than based on their relative position. With this approach, arguments are assigned to parameters according to their names, which provides more flexibility and avoids errors caused by incorrect order. Here is an example of how to use arguments by name. Default arguments. We may want to have a function with some optional parameter, which can be used or not depending on different circumstances. To do this, what we can do is to assign a default value to the function. In the following case, C would be 0 unless otherwise specified. Variable length arguments. Python allow you to pass a variable number of arguments to a function. This means that the function can accept any number of arguments, be it 1, 3, 10, or even more, without needing to specify a fixed number of parameters in its definition. Let's imagine that we have a function called sum, and we wanted to sum all the input numbers passed to it, no matter how many there are. One way to accomplish this is to use a list as an argument. In this case, we have defined the function sum, with a special parameter. The asterisk before the parameter name indicates that it can receive multiple arguments and groups them in a tuple within the function. Inside the function, we use a for loop to loop through all the numbers passed as arguments and add them to the result. Finally, the result of the sum is returned. Variable length arguments in Python can also be used with a double asterisk. This allows a variable number of arguments to be passed as key-value pairs to a function, providing even more flexibility in how data is passed. Here's an example of how variable length arguments are used with double asterisk. In this case, the print_data function uses a special double asterisk parameter to receive a variable number of arguments as key-value pairs. These arguments are grouped in the data dictionary, where the key is the name of the argument and the value is the associated value. Within the body of the function, we use a for loop to iterate over the elements of the data dictionary and display each key and value in the desired format. Variable length arguments with double asterisks are useful when you need to pass a variable number of arguments as key-value pairs to a function. This provides flexibility to handle different types of data and allows users to specify what data they wish to provide and how it should be used within the function. The return statement. This is a statement used within a function to return a value or multiple values to the location from which the function call was made. When the return statement is encountered, the execution of the function stops at that point and the specified value or values separated by commas are returned. This allows the result of the function to be obtained and used in other calculations or assigned to a variable. Has two main functions. _exit function. Once the return statement is encountered, the function is terminated immediately and execution returns to the point from where the function call was made. This allows you to control the flow of the program and continue execution at the appropriate place. _return values. In addition to exiting the function, the return statement allows one or more values to be returned to the place of the call. These values can be of any valid type in Python, such as integers, strings, lists, dictionaries, etc. By returning a value, the result of the function execution is provided for later use in the program. In this example, the get_average function calculates the average of a list of grades. If the list is empty, 0 is returned using the return statement. Otherwise, the average is calculated and returned using another return statement. When calling the function with the list of grades, 85, 90, 92, 88, 95, the average is obtained and displayed in the output. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helped you improve your Python skills. Remember to practice and experiment with the code to get a better understanding. If you liked the content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to receive more tutorials and programming tips. Thanks for joining us for this video and see you in the next one.